Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm super excited. I'm doing something a little different today. I'm going to share with you guys the story of my very first time going camping. It's also a combination story with my most embarrassing time camping. I checked off my most embarrassing time, my very first time camping. And the reason why I'm telling you guys this story is because General RV is doing something very, very cool. They're doing something called hashtag come home with a story. They're giving away a $1,000 General RV gift card for people who submit a photo and story of your favorite camping trip. And even though this one's really embarrassing for me, it's also my favorite camping trip because I'll explain it why later. But it was my first taste into RV living, and it was just really exciting. So how you enter, you go to generalrv.com, enter to win. When you click enter to win, you type in your first, last name, email, you upload a photo, and then you tell your story. There's some rules and regulations with it. I'll put all those rules down below. You'll also see it on General's website. And you must do that if you want to win the $1,000. Also, hashtag it come home with a story on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Also, hashtag Matt's RV reviews if you guys do it. I want to read every one of your stories. And it's just something really fun that the General RV marketing team's doing. It's absolutely free, and the winner gets a $1,000 General RV gift card. And it's just a really awesome opportunity for people to share, you know, some of their favorite camping memories. You know what I'm saying? So, speaking of camping memories, let me tell you guys my very first time camping. So, let me fix this camera up. My very first time, so for those of you who don't know, I joined the RV industry back in 2015 at a small dealership in Maryland. And that was, it was just a small dealership, and it was my first time entering the RV industry. And part of the perks of working at a dealership, even General RV, is we get to take the RVs out camping to literally get our feet wet, you know what I'm saying? So we can learn about the RV lifestyle and everything. So I'm there for like 6 months, and I go to the owner, Greg, and Bob, the GM. And I asked them to take a motorhome down to West Palm Beach to visit my mom and to go to Disney World. And sure enough, even though I was only working there for 6 months, they agreed to it. By the way, as an RV salesman, you become a better RV salesman once you go RVing yourself. So I was an RV salesman for 6 months, and I've never even been RVing. You know what I'm saying? And as you guys know who buy RVs, you've experienced that a lot. So that's why, you know, a lot of dealerships encourage their salespeople to go camping. So they agreed to it. And so, you know, I booked my trip. And it's funny because I called Disney World, and they're all like, hey, what size is your RV? I'm like, well, I don't know what size my RV is. They're like, what do you mean you don't know? I'm like, I won't know what RV it is until the week of. And not only that, my hand. I picked 4 RVs. Every time I picked an RV, it sold. So I had to switch an RV. Because obviously the sales come first and the customer comes first. You know, if we have a used unit, we're going to sell it to the customer before I'm allowed to take it. So it's 2 days out before the trip, and then finally Bob says, all right, you're taking the Thor Windsport. It was 2015, 2014. It was a 31S Windsport, okay? And, you know, $100,000 motorhome, right? So we hop in it. By the way, I've never taken a motorhome farther than like a little loop around the dealership. So hop in this $100,000 motorhome and make my way down to Florida. Everything's going well. Long story short, we're at Disney World. And, so it's me, Andrea, my wife, and her 3 daughters, my stepdaughters. So 4 women all in the RV. And we haven't had experiences with black tanks or dumping or, you know, I just thought as easy as 1, 2, 3. And so Andrea and the girls threw tons and tons of toilet paper down the black tank, right? No different than at home. So we're at Disney World, and the black tank backs up on us, right? And it fills the toilet all the way up to the brim. And so I'm running outside, and I'm shutting off the water. And sure enough, I shut it off. And the black tank filled up. It filled up the toilet, too. All the way to the tippy top. There wasn't an inch. And so our whole camping trip was sitting in the black tank. Pause. Let me explain the story. This was a bath and a half motorhome. It wasn't a 31S. It was like a 35 something because it was a bath and a half. Okay? And we dumped one tank. I didn't know that there was a second black tank hookup. So I thought we broke the black tank or it clogged up or whatever. Long story short, the black tank is filled up to the very brim. And I'm all like, okay. So I pour a whole bunch of toilet chemical down the toilet, hoping that it's going to break this stuff up. And we go to bed and we wake up the next morning and it's still there. And it's just sitting there like a chocolatey soup, if you know what I'm saying. And it is just disgusting. And it's filled to the very brim. Now, with that said, it's closed up, right? But it's just like however many gallons the bowl of a toilet is, it had to be 12 gallons, right? It's just sitting there, chocolate soup. And it's 9 o'clock, and we have to leave the campground at 11 o'clock. And I know if we start driving, this stuff's going to splash absolutely everywhere. And I couldn't afford the motorhome. I actually, back at that time, I had to borrow gas money from my mom just to drive the motorhome back home. And so I definitely didn't have money to fix this RV or clean this RV, and I was not going to destroy a $100,000 motorhome with our poop juice. So I take these 2 plastic cups, and I get a bucket, and I start sticking my hands in the soupy water and dumping them out into the bucket. And I fill this bucket up 3 times. And these are big cups. These have to be 20-ounce cups. And it's so disgusting, and I'm sticking my hands in it. And I swear to you, it's like the water was topping itself off. It wasn't even going down an inch, was it, Andrea? No. And it was so disgusting. And I'm all like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I go on YouTube. And I'm like, what if I siphon the black tank? Is that even like a possibility? And so I go on YouTube and I watch a video. And I'm like, okay, I think I can do this. I take our fresh water hose. This is the last day of the trip, by the way. I stick it in the toilet. But not just in the toilet. In the whole black tank, right? All the way down. We have like a 50-foot fresh water hose. Run it through the RV. Outside, down on the ground. Andrea, hold this camera for me. We run it through the RV. I'm down on the ground like this. And it is a, this is Yuna's Lammy. It is a, the sewer dump station's right here. And so the motorhome's up there and the window's up there. And this hose is running all the way through. And so I'm looking at this hose. And I'm like, am I really going to try to siphon this black tank? And then I look at that motorhome. And I'm like, you know what? I said, sometimes a man has to do what a man has to do. So Andrea's daughter's holding the hose in the toilet. Andrea's in the middle of the motorhome watching the hose. And I'm down on the ground and I start sucking. It's a true story, by the way. And I start sucking. And nothing. No, it's a 50-foot hose. And I'm scared and I got adrenaline. And I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to get this crap water in my mouth. Because I am not going to lose my job and destroy a motorhome. So I just go. And the hose changed colors. And Andrea's like, no! And I'm looking, and the hose is changing colors, and it's coming down at me. Una, stop barking, it's coming at me. And I go, I got nothing in my mouth.
Just in time.
Give me. I got nothing in my mouth. I siphoned the entire black tank of the motorhome. And it was absolutely amazing. And I siphoned it all, and I didn't get any poop. Get out of here. I didn't get any poopy water in my mouth or anything. And it was the coolest thing I've ever done. And I never siphoned anything in my life. And so it, you know, I had such a burst of adrenaline. And then Andrea, what's the best part about the story? Andrea doesn't want to be on camera right now. But what's the funniest part of the whole story? Actually, I'll tell you the funniest part. Okay, you ready? The funniest part was I was working for Leo's Vacation Center back then. And we're driving home. And I stop at General RV.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
In Ashland, Virginia. And they had this guy with a mustache in the parts department, right? And they just started. And I stopped there and I'm all like, hey, guys, I need help dumping or fixing this black tank before I get back home to Maryland, right? And the guy looked at it and he said, there's nothing wrong with it. There's another place for you to hook up the sewer hose.
We couldn't find it. We looked all over the place for that second, for the half bath.
So there was a second dump station. So it wasn't clogged.
It was us.
It was us. And I almost got the chocolate soup in my mouth for nothing.
I know. But we looked so hard for it. It was really hiding.
It was hiding. No, it was very tough. But truthfully, other than that, that was one of my favorite trips. It was my first.
We had such a good time.
It was my first taste in RVing, even though I didn't taste anything, I swear to you.
We loved it. We had such a good time.
You know, we fell in love with Florida. And we fell in love with Disney World because the Disney World campground's absolutely phenomenal.
Do you remember what the kids were saying on that way down?
What were they saying?
Why can't we move to Florida? We want to move to Florida so bad.
Hey, and guess what? A few years later, we moved to Florida. But, guys, that is my story. Thank you so much for listening. Guys, listen, please, if everybody could do me a favor, submit your story. You don't need to be an influencer to do it. Tag General RV on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Hashtag it, come home with a story. And enter to win. No purchase is necessary. Andrea, Una has something in her mouth if you can get it.
Oh, gosh. Una.
No purchase necessary. You just click the link. All you need is first name, last name, email. And you upload the picture. And you agree to the official rules. Again, General's really thinking outside the box. So many marketing teams out there is all like sell, sell, sell. And General really wants to, what am I trying to say? They really enhance the camping lifestyle and experience. So we want to hear your stories. And again, if you do, also hashtag Matt's RV Reviews because I want to read all your stories. Guys, thank you so much. And again, make sure you join us tonight, 7 p.m. for another RV review.